I think brownfields have an amazing potential. They are often sites that have been for a long time abandoned or left aside, and they can be knit back into a community quite well.
People remember, oh, that was just a bunch of old factory buildings. Well, what could it be based on what you value in what's there now and what has been there in the past?
In the development of these brownfields, I think it's really important to engage the community in a full consultative form.
Very fortunate with many of our stakeholders that we said, listen, success for us looks like this. What does success for you look like? And based on that, we came together and shared a common vision.
Some of our best ideas came from the community, and that's why it's very important to establish a level of trust between the development community and the neighborhood and the municipality. And just to say, we all have the same end goal in mind here.
I think everyone needs to understand that they have a unique voice and a perspective and creativity that can be added to this that would be missing when they're not there.
I think plain and simple, get involved, and get involved now. Be prepared to be excited about things that can happen in your community.
A lot of what has to happen is an articulation process of making stuff from the lower brainstem out here, where you can put it in words that then people like me can translate into planning ease, that then actually leads to something that can get built.
Getting involved from the ground up in any project would always be the best way to do it, because you can have the biggest impact on the outcome.
It really was around community groups. The project sits right on the border between two neighborhood associations. So we had both neighborhood associations, and both of them actually came to our public hearings in support of the project when we were done.
People don't get engaged. You get a bunch of big box stores or who knows what, or typical suburban development. And so if people really want to see something different, I think they all need to come out and express that.
And you make sure that you talk to as many people as possible.
So you have to reach out and be proactive to get the full spectrum of input.
The benefits of cleaning up brownfields speak for themselves, particularly urban brownfields. Not all brownfields are created equal, but an urban brownfield, you already have public transit, you already have services by the door, the snow plows are running by, the garbage trucks are running by, so the cost to a community of adding density in those areas is next to nothing. Those urban brownfield sites have the ability to really change a city and do it in a very economically viable way.
We've seen a lot of really exciting brownfield remediation projects. And if we think about in Montreal, for instance, the revitalization of Lachine Canal, again, very contaminated area that's been redeveloped into, with some great bike paths and some beautiful lofts and shops and restaurants. And it's a really, really popular neighborhood in Montreal now. But, a while ago was a pretty awful place and had been left vacant for some time.
The Currents building, which is now the new home of the Great Canadian Theatre Company, 12-story condominium with a community theatre on the ground floor, 2 stories of underground parking. Used to be a former gas station, former dry cleaner, quite a tough site when we started. And that was where the girls worked. That was where they would sell drugs out the back of an old car wash building. And today, it's one of the most vibrant areas of town. It's gentrified all the way up and down there. The theater draws people from all over the city.
If you really dig into the kind of heart and soul of the community and look to their aspirations, these projects can often become the vehicle where that new image of the future has potential to shine.
The first step is for local people to be very clear about what it is they value, and what kind of activities and what kind of setting for those activities are really important.
I think a more inclusive, upfront, inspirational kind of process allows you to share all the good things you want to share and be part of the solution, not just part of documenting what the problem is.
It's about bringing people together, collectively talking to each other. So people with different ideas begin to hear those ideas from the actual people in the community. So they're having a discussion.
It can be a wonderful source of communal pride. It can also be a way to build confidence that local people's voice actually gets heard and that their ideas actually get implemented.
We've got tons of existing area within our cities, within our urban frameworks, and we should be intensifying those to make our cities more walkable, more friendly, and less car dependent.
Really show that change is positive, that there's something good that can come out of a demolition and a dirty old site.
So our job is to create a new model for how we should be interacting with the planet moving forward, and make sure that the occupants of our buildings, the users of our buildings, can have a much more sustainable footprint on the planet. Some of the ratings that we're going to get marked on are health and happiness, community and culture, sustainable food, things that historically nobody would have thought of when you're developing buildings or developing a community.
The thing I would say to the people in Brantford is to believe in yourselves, in your future potential.
If it's seen as a positive, collaborative effort, I think that will reap benefits for the community.
Are there things from the past that may have been forgotten but were still really relevant and really great? That's the kind of thing I want people to remember, to revive, and to reuse. So it's a combination of understanding the past, applying it to the present, and using it for hopes for the future.
Ultimately, I think that some of our best projects in Canada have been brownfield redevelopment sites.